Good afternoon, everyone. This is what they used to call in Star Trek Captain's Log Supplemental. I only really intend to do one of these, but you're all from such different parts of the country, you see, and you're kind of disparate. So, and also I've noticed that the start of these courses require a little bit more support because everyone's a bit tense and the machinery doesn't work properly and blinking heck, my computer's gone down and all the rest of it. So most of you are getting the hang of it now, yeah, and I'm really pleased about that. But I want to say a few words for you for a number of reasons. The first reason is I'm addressing a conference tomorrow, and I'm nervous as hell, and I'd rather like doing these little messages. So it's coming as rather a nice little break, to be honest with you. So I've had 2.5 replies to the exercises for the first week. I say a half reply. What I mean by that is one of our colleagues is having a bit of trouble. She doesn't know whether to use the internal email system on Blackboard or the external email system, just sending it directly to me. You pick whatever's best for you. I don't really care. As long as I get something, as long as you don't all go quiet on me. That's the worst thing. I can't stand it when people go quiet. So I've had two. And the other thing is that I don't really know whether to use names here because YouTube is a bit public, isn't it? And it's a little difficult to know what to do, really. But all in all, I've got to say I've been very impressed by the amount and the quality of the replies that I've had in. But I want to reply to a couple of things. First one was for RA in Bristol. You define heart failures despite adequate ventricular filling. You get a failure to pump enough out. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Not quite sure where diastolic. How do you all feel about diastolic failure, for instance? A failure for your muscle not to pump now. There's no real problem with the pumping action, but it just doesn't fill between beats. How does that fit into any definition that you're offering? The other correspondent that I add in. Heart failure can result from a structural or functional cardiac disorder that makes the heart less efficient at pumping blood around the body. You know, that's a bit more general, but still pretty damn good. Broad versus narrow definitions of heart failure. Yeah, absolutely. If you have a very narrow definition, well, the numbers are going to go down in national incidents, aren't they? Because you're going to be ruling a load of people out. It's going to be cheaper to deal with as a social phenomenon because you're saying only people who achieve this, and this criteria will be considered to have heart failure. But on the other hand, you're going to miss a load of people who probably have genuinely got heart failure. Offer a broad definition of heart failure, on the other hand, and half the people over 55 who go up the stairs and can't breathe at the top are going to have heart failure. And therefore, this is going to be a planning and a funding nightmare. So some people take a broad definition and some people take a narrow definition, and it's all on that basis as to how the figures are totted up. Not as straightforward as you might at first think. It's not like how many people have got a raised troponin level. Not like that at all. Good replies, excellent replies to the question about congestive heart failure. Why is it a term that's CCF? Why is it a term that's gone out of circulation? Yeah, two top class replies. RA down in Bristol. RA on the ECG definition of ventricular hypertrophy. I think you missed the big point, really. I think you missed the point that this is tall R waves. Massive, big tall R waves, frequently in the leads looking at the left ventricle V5 and V6. Massive. I mean, sometimes they shock you. Sometimes you feel as though they're sticking in your eye. They stick out that much. Anything else I had? Anything else? Oh yeah. GMS contract. This is as you pointed out, the GP's contract. This is the payment for results contract. You know, and there are subtle distinctions. I was very flattered to read in one of the replies that I got there reference to the book of essays that I brought out. Students' essays off this module. It's shocking, isn't it? You know, and all of these were published elsewhere as well. Those essays, but they were top class. Real reflection of the people who came on that module. But I've got the feeling that you're all pretty motivated too, as a matter of fact. So start thinking about possible publications. I mean it. Really start thinking, because you're gonna be learning an awful lot on this course. Why shouldn't you? How do you think Chris Nicholson started? And the other thing I'm really gratified to see in you is that you've all got the book. All the ones that have applied anyway. Poor old DC, she's still having a little bit of trouble with her computer. Don't chuck it in the wheelie bin just yet. You'll soon get the hang of this, all right. Now, I haven't had anything from the rest of you, so come on, jump to it. You know, time's moving on. You've only got 12 weeks of this, and I want to see something from all of you. But I'm going to send another film to you right after I've done this. I'm going to send another film for how to submit your essay. Old DC there, I can tell she's a little bit of a worrier. She's been asking me about the essay and what needs to go in it and how you submit it. It's only the first week, you know what I mean? Some people are just tense like that. DC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another little film right after this about electronic submission. You can either send it to me by the post, make sure it's registered, and it's very unreliable. I wouldn't advise it. Or you can do a drop. You can use our Dropbox. It's up there. It's next to the lessons. It's dead easy to use. And once you put it in, that's it. It's registered. It's recorded. There's nobody's going to lose it on you. But I'll make a little film about that anyway in just a minute. The other thing that I'm going to do is right now I'm going to put the presentation that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's called a Prezi, yeah? It's called a Prezi. I'm going to put the presentation onto the Facebook. It's about poverty and coronary artery disease. And I'm using this as a way of trying to get you into HEA space 765, the heart failure modules, social area. You don't have to. You know, you don't have to, but just send a picture of your hospital. What have you lost? Anything else? No. Well, I intend to make this. I intended to make this a sort of weekly event, but what with everything starting and all that, and with you being all over the place, I'm going to give a bit of a supplemental. And besides that, I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to you all. So. Speak to you soon. I'll let you know how things go on at the conference tomorrow in the Facebook page, and be seeing you. Bye now.